Human curiosity always seeks answers, but there are mysteries that seem to defy time. In this video, we will explore three criminal cases that left more questions than answers, and that, to this day, keep their shadow over humanity. Get ready to delve into the unknown. On January 15, 1947, the lifeless body of Elizabeth Short, a 22-year-old aspiring actress, was found in a vacant lot in Los Angeles. Her body was split in two and completely mutilated, which horrified the community. Soon the media dubbed her the Black Dahlia, referring to her dark hair and the black dress she used to wear. More than 150 suspects were questioned, including doctors, actors, and Elizabeth's acquaintances. However, the lack of hard evidence and sensationalist press coverage complicated the case. Today, more than 70 years later, her murder remains one of the most famous and terrifying in American history. Was it the work of a psychopath or someone close to her? We may never know. The Zodiac Killer is one of the most infamous criminals in history. His reign of terror began in 1968 in California, leaving at least 5 confirmed victims, although he himself claimed to have murdered 37 people. What makes this case unique are the encrypted letters he sent to newspapers, defying police and cryptography experts. Of the 4 main messages, one remains completely undeciphered. Hundreds of psychological profiles were drawn up and thousands of leads investigated, but the killer disappeared without a trace. Even with the advancement of forensic technology, such as DNA, it has not been possible to identify the perpetrator. Was he a criminal mastermind or just lucky not to be caught? One of the most perplexing modern mysteries is the disappearance of Malaysia Airlines flight MH370. On March 8, 2014, this plane, with 239 people on board, took off from Kuala Lumpur en route to Beijing, but never reached its destination. The last communication with the pilots was routine, but soon after, the plane disappeared from radar. Months later, fragments of the fuselage washed up on beaches in the Indian Ocean, but the exact location of the aircraft remains unknown. What happened? There are theories pointing to mechanical failure, a hijacking, or even a deliberate act on the part of the crew. However, the truth remains hidden beneath the vast ocean, leaving the families of the victims without answers and the world with one of aviation's greatest mysteries. On the night of December 24th, 1945, a fire destroyed the Sauder family home in Fayetteville, West Virginia. The parents, George and Jenny Sauder, managed to escape with 4 of their children, but 5 others were trapped in the fire. Or so they thought. After the fire was extinguished, no human remains were found in the ashes, something inexplicable. In addition, witnesses claim to have seen the children in cars or accompanied by strangers after the fire. The family suspected an abduction and spent decades searching for answers, even putting up a roadside sign with their pictures. Were the Sauder children really victims of the fire, or was it a cover-up to hide their disappearance? This case remains a mystery, leaving generations with unanswered questions. Between 1918 and 1919, a serial killer known as the New Orleans Ripper spread terror in Louisiana. This criminal attacked his victims with an axe, leaving a trail of blood and horror in his wake. Most of the victims were Italian immigrants, which generated theories about a possible ethnic or revenge motive. In one of his letters, sent to the newspapers, the killer stated that he would attack only those who were not playing jazz in their homes, which led the city to turn into a night party to avoid being murdered. Despite several suspects, the Ripper disappeared without a clue and was never identified. Was he an anonymous psychopath or someone who camouflaged himself in the crowd? To this day, his identity remains unknown, and his story remains a legend in New Orleans. These cases show us that despite advances in science and research, some mysteries seem destined to remain unsolved. Do you have any theories about these crimes? Let me know in the comments. And if you're passionate about riddles and stories that defy logic, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the little bell. See you next time.